So this summer I read a biography of Jim Henson, and there was a quote in it that got me thinking. Henson said, "You are where you are because that's where you need to be." And I thought about it for a lot longer than I probably should have. Are we where we are because it's where we need to be? Or or is it because it's where we choose to be? Is there even a difference? Each day we make what seems like a million choices. We choose to get up, we choose what we wear, we choose who we talk to, we choose our words. Every time a choice is made, it sends us down a different path. Tonight, all of you made a choice. When there are so many things you could do with your time, you chose to come here. You made the choice to come here tonight because you know the importance of water. You know the statistics of how many people don't have access to safe water or sanitation. You made the choice to come here tonight because you know the amazing work that is done by H2O for Life. You know that schools all over the world benefit because of the amazing work done by this charity. You made the choice to come here tonight because you care. Those choices have a profound impact, more than we realized at that time. I made the choice 5 years ago to stop at a table at the National Conference for Social Studies in St. Louis. It was my first exposure to H2O for Life, and if I hadn't made that choice, I certainly wouldn't be here tonight. Later that school year, I was talking about the global water crisis with my students. I gave them a presentation that would rival those sad Humane Society commercials with the sad puppies and abandoned animals. It was a real tearjerker. And I was all set to move on to the next heart-wrenching topic when Jamie Lorenzen, a 13-year-old girl, stopped me. She made a choice that changed everything. She made a choice to ask the question, what are we going to do about it? That one question took me, my students, my school, my family down a very different path than I had planned. It made us all choose what we wanted to do next. What I've learned since then is that learning about a topic isn't enough. Knowledge is useless without action. Imagine a doctor who has the knowledge to set a broken arm, but won't actually do it. Where would we be if Vincent van Gogh knew how to paint, but didn't? Or if J.K. Rowling knew how to tell a great story, but refused to write it down? Or if Martin Luther King knew how to reach both black and white Americans, but he never gave a speech? My students don't just know about a topic, they know they need to make a choice to take action on that topic. Action comes in many forms. I've had students organize all sorts of fundraisers. Yes, they've done Walk the Waters, 5 of them actually. They've sold signs for lockers, sponsored hat days, gone to local businesses to get raffle prizes, create a bunch of carnival games to entertain little brothers and sisters at our walk, and they've raised money, just under $40,000 over the last 5 years. But more important than that money, and more impressive than that money that they've raised, is the awareness that they've spread. There are over 1,000 water warriors in my school district, and those warriors aren't afraid to let others know about the need to do more to bring water to people in other parts of the world. And the choice to take action changes those young people. Jamie, that student I told you about, who made the choice to ask what we would do, I talked to her last year and she said, because of Walk for Water, I found myself. And what I loved the most was the process of aiding people who were less fortunate than myself. Since then, she's made the choice to help students on a Native American reservation in North Dakota and worked with youth groups in the inner city of Detroit. She continues to amaze me 5 years later. Eve, a student I had the next year, said, Walk for Water made me feel like I could make a difference, a big impact in someone's life. It's one of my favorite memories of junior high. Peter, a student who wasn't even in my class, but made the choice to help our efforts anyway, came back and told me that helping at Walk for Water opened my eyes and made me realize how blind I was to the fact that there are so many people who aren't as fortunate as me or others in my environment. In short, getting involved and taking action is a transformative experience. I've heard stories of friendships formed, voices found, and leaders born. That didn't come from learning about water. It came from making the choice to take action to solve the problem. I've taught for 22 years now, and I've always known that middle schoolers are amazing. But watching them organize a Walk for Water led me to a quote that got me on the H2O for Life annual report. Working with 12 and 13-year-olds every day, I realized that contrary to popular opinion, these kids aren't the problem in society. They are the solution. So as I think back to the Jim Henson quote I started with, I am where I am tonight because this is where I'm meant to be. Like the Lorax speaks for the trees, I speak for the teens that are going to change the world. And whether we're here because of choices, or here because it's where we're meant to be, being here confirms another thing, another Jim Henson quote. And the quote is on the wall of my classroom. My hope is still to leave the world a bit better than when we got here. And as long as students, teachers, parents, and others are involved in H2O for Life, we will leave the world more than a bit better than when we got here. Thank you.
Yeah.